Hey guys, I'm Sarah. I'm here with my coffee, otherwise known as the elixir of surviving school holidays. School holidays will be over very shortly, and so I thought I would do another school lunchbox video, except I'm doing this one a little bit different from the last one. The last one I had the kids packing their own lunchboxes. Instead of doing that, this one I'm going to do a bit of a comparison. I went and bought a whole heap of stuff from the supermarket, to my children's delight, that I would not normally buy. So I put a whole heap of stuff in my trolley, hoping that nobody who watches my YouTube channel would see me. So I'm going to show you the kind of lunchbox that I normally pack for my kids and the kind of lunchbox that I see quite often. So one of the things I put in my trolley was these Muesli Bars. These were the cheapest ones I could find. They were $1.79 and there is 180 grams in here. Now, so I didn't go cheating, I didn't go seeking out the most expensive ones. So we have got 6 Muesli Bars in here, which comes to 30 cents per Muesli bar. That is, each bar is about 30 grams each, and that comes to $9.94 a kilo. So, you know, I'm doing I've done maths for you guys. Anyone who knows how much I hate maths. If we compare that to these are my homemade Muesli Bars. These are actually, the thought of making these is more difficult than the act of making them, actually. I don't make them as often as I should because it often seems like a big task. It is just not, it is really easy.
As a consumer, those are nicer than those.
See, the hand says these.
Well, you're showing them now. And your crackers are divine, but I think the cheap crackers you're comparing them to are not worthy.
I mean, the great thing about making your own is that you can cut them to whatever size you want. You can make them little squares, whatever. Now, I tried cutting them to, this one's actually a bit bigger than the store-bought one. I tried cutting them to about the same size. I think I failed. They're around 33 grams per bar. Now, I weighed these. These come to 600 grams. And it cost me $3.51 in total to make them. That's $5.85 per kilo. And there's 18 bars in here, which comes to about 19 cents per bar. So, you know, that compared to that, sorry. Homemade is so good. Now, one thing I'm not going to go through in this video is how you wrap. I mean, Glad wrap, honeybee wrap, just put them in the lunchbox like that, you know, do whatever you got to do. I'm not going to debate plastic packaging or anything in this video. Obviously, if you make your own, you've got the options of a lot less of this plasticky stuff. Now, I went and bought some cheap crackers, snacks. These were on special. These were $2.59. There is 250 grams in here. I worked out there's about 65 crackers in the box. Now you'll notice this is all stuff that when you buy them individually, you know, $1.79, $2.59, they're not going to break the bank. But when you add it up on a day-by-day basis, it does add up, and I will show you at the end how much it can add up. Now also, as my husband kindly pointed out, I'm not sure we're comparing apples with my homemade crackers, because these ones are quite rubbishy crackers. They haven't got any lovely grains or anything. Oh yeah, they are quite little and sort of flimsy. I'm gonna say, if we put 5 of them in a lunchbox, 5 crackers comes to 20 cents. 20 cents for 5 crackers in a lunchbox. Again, they are easy to make, and look at these. These are yummy. So, reef. Alright, catch. Good on you, love. Gannets in this house, I tell you, gannets. So, look at them. They are beautiful, they are yummy, they are crunchy. Oh, they smell divine. So, you know, these are so good. These come to $10.36 per kilo. These ones here come to $1.98 per kilo. It cost me 63 cents to make these, which come to 317 grams. There's about 39 crackers in here, so instead of these, we eat 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at how much healthier these look compared to those. So 5 of these crackers is going to cost you about 5 cents. Right, so I picked up some of these. These seem fairly popular, healtheries stuff. They've got a whole heap of different kind of stuff. I got some of these oven baked twirls. So now this big packet with lots of little packets inside costs $3.99, and there's 144 grams worth in here. There's 8 packets, well it says on the pack there's 8 packets. So, crunchy snacks with real veggies apparently. Real veggie, hang on, let's have a look at this. Oh, there's powders. So there's carrot, tomato and pumpkin powder. I don't know what that is. Is that like dehydrated? I don't know. So apparently this is a vegetable. I don't know. But I'm sure kids would love this. What kids don't like yummy crunchy things? However, there's 8 packs in here. This comes to about 50 cents per packet, or, hold on to your hats, $27.70 per kilo. So, let's talk popcorn. Now, and when I'm talking popcorn, I'm not even talking the stuff that you buy pre-made. I'm talking corn kernels. This ice cream container I made this morning with 1/3 of a cup of these corn kernels. It is simple to do. I have actually demonstrated in another video how to perfectly cook your corn, pop your corn every time. Okay, I used to be a popcorn burner, but no more. I've figured out that there is a method to cooking it perfectly. Do it, people. It is, again, I'd say this a lot, but it is so easy. This costs $1.39. There's 300 grams in it, and according to a wee googly search, I haven't calculated exactly, they reckon about 13 cups worth of popcorn in here. So that's about 12 cents for a cup of popcorn. Or just the kernels, it costs $5.30 per kilo. These bags, by the way, I have made an effort as of late to reduce my plastic consumption, plastic packagings and stuff. And these bags, you can wash them and reuse them. I haven't bought any of these bags in ages. I don't know if I've bought any in the last year actually. I can't remember the last time I bought some, but I just washed them and I sort of turn them inside out to dry and I reuse them. As long as the kids bring them home, then yeah, just do that. So, shove some popcorn in there. Now, of course you can flavour your popcorn. You can mix up some salt, you can put a few drops of vinegar in there if you want some salt and vinegar. Yeah, it does go slightly wet, but the kids don't seem to care. Of course you can put icing sugar in there, you can put an extra dollop of butter and make it nice buttery flavoured. You know, pop that in the lunchbox. One thing that I didn't collect at the time, but I'll put a picture up of it. I couldn't bring myself to buy it, to be honest. What a snob, I just couldn't bring myself to buy it. But is you buy these packets of fruit in jelly. Yeah, see this here, this is an apple. Those fruit in jelly things, they cost $4.75 for 482 grams. It comes in a packet of 4, which equates to $1.18 per pot. That's $9.85 a kilo. If you compare it to apples, actually most fruit this week at Pack and Save, fruit's kind of expensive at the moment at this time of year. They were $3.99 a kilo. I think bananas were a little bit cheaper. They were $2 something a kilo. But there was a few different types of fruit that were $3.99 a kilo, so I decided to go with that. That equates to about 69 cents per apple. That's cheaper. Now, if your kids really want jelly, that's not rocket science either, is it? I mean, I believe 65 cents at my local Pack and Save for value brand jelly crystals, and that makes 2 cups worth of jelly. So, you know, mix up your jelly, pop some pieces of fruit in it, stick it in the fridge, divvy it out, you know, if they really want some jelly with it. There's these fruit nugget things, fruit straps, fruit things. They're all a similar thing. They call themselves a fruit product. They were $3.79 for 136 grams. They came in a packet of 8 little packages, and that comes to 47 cents per package. That comes to a whopping $27.86 per kilo. Just going to do something. It's going to blow your mind. There's a wee cup of veggies. That'll cost you about 10 cents. Seriously. That's whatever your kids will eat. I mean, I've just got some capsicum, cucumber and carrot sticks. My girls aren't too big on capsicum, but Aston, my little boy, he absolutely loves it. To be honest, my eldest Olivia, she prefers it when I just put a whole carrot in her lunchbox, especially if it's a huge one. She loves carrots. Sam's pretty good. She eats most veggies as well. She's not so big on capsicum either. So they all like different things, but I mean, if you have trouble getting your kids to eat the veggies, also, if you put like some kind of dip in there as well, put a little container of hummus, aioli, whatever that they can dip it in, that makes a big difference. One thing that I'm probably not going to include this in the overall cost. I'm just going with the Snacky lunchbox stuff today. But bread for sandwiches. The reason I found this actually quite difficult is because there are so many different types of bread and everyone is so different. I have heard of people who just always buy the value brand stuff. I was quite surprised when I went to buy it actually, because the value brand stuff used to be 89 cents a loaf and it's now $1.15 a loaf. But I realised why when I calculated how much the cost of flour's actually gone up since I made my bread making video. I used to make a loaf of bread for just under $1 and now it costs me just over $2 to make a loaf of bread. So that's how much the cost of both flour and yeast have gone up just in the last year or however long it's been. So that actually really did surprise me. However, I did buy this value brand stuff. I have heard reports that Coupland's do a really good cheap loaf of bread. I'm not sure, but I wasn't going to drive around everywhere checking everything out, so this is just what I came back with. So the value brand wholemeal toast bread. Here's something interesting. It says 600 grams on the packet. I weighed this. This is 500 grams. So there we go. Now, of course, the problem being I have tried buying this for my family in the past. It didn't go down so well. Because they found, especially my husband, he had to eat twice as much of it to actually make him feel as though he'd eaten a sandwich. The stuff that I make, I'll admit it costs more than this. However, here's some that I made this morning. It smells yummy. Beautiful. I've got this bread making thing down pat. I'm quite proud of it now. But yeah, I did a video on how to make your own bread. When you think about making bread, a lot of people think kneading. Nah, you don't need to knead at all with this loaf of bread. Seriously, refer to my bread making video. As I said, the prices on there no longer apply. I do all my prices, you know, at my pack and save, at the time. That's just the way I operate. So this loaf, I figured out, now costs about $2.12 to make. Now for us, that is still cheaper. As I say, it varies from family to family. For us, this bread is still cheaper because our alternative is buying something like Plowman's or Freya's, which costs over $3 a loaf. So when you're going through 4 or 5 loaves a week, as we can often do, yeah, the savings add up. So it is still worth our while to make our own bread. And also, I weighed this and it came to over 900 grams. So while this is about $2.23 a kilo, this is $2.30 a kilo. So I assumed this was 500 grams, not 600 grams, it says on the packet, because I believe my scales. So cost-wise, you know, per kilo, they are similar. But it just depends. If your kids are happy with that, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just buy what you got to buy. But I'm just saying, making your own bread, if your kids plow through a ton of that stuff because it's not very filling, or if you find they're just not getting that full up on that bread, have a go at making your own. And plus, with your own bread, you know what goes into it. You can put your own grains, nuts, whatever you want to in it. It is a really, really simple recipe. Not counting the bread. I'm not going to calculate the cost of bread because, as I say, that's a very personal sort of thing. I thought I'll just go with the snacky things. So if you have your good old store-bought muesli bar, your store-bought crackers, your twirly whirlies, your fruit and your jelly, you've got your fruit and nuggets, that's all going to cost you about $2.65 for that day's lunch. Instead, you got your homemade muesli bar, you got your homemade crackers. These are so good, just saying. You got your bag of popcorn, you got your apple, you got your pot of veggies. I included half a cup of jelly into my cost as well. Sorry, I don't have jelly. Funnily enough, I do normally have jelly in the pantry because it's just a handy thing to have sometimes, but I don't at the moment, sorry. Anyway, I'm sure you know what jelly looks like. It's that wobbly stuff. That's going to cost $1.32 if you do pack all of that stuff as opposed to all of this stuff. You pack all of this, you could save it $1.33 per day. Might not sound like much, but there's about 200 school days a year. Now just think about that. At the end of the year, that's $266 per child. So of course, if you've got more than that, in my case 3 of them, that's going to add up. And think about if you even just put $1 per school lunchbox day in a savings account instead of spending it on this rubbish, that's a good $200 at the end of the year that you've got to spend on the likes of Christmas and that sort of thing. So I really would recommend it. It is totally worth thinking about making your own stuff, getting some good nutrients into your kids. But there's plenty more stuff you can make yourself. I mean, like yogurt. I show you, I've got a video on making your own Greek yogurt. Make them a rice ball if they're not big on sandwiches. Scones. Of course, there's home baking, things like banana bread. I'm making banana bread all the time for my kids because we always end up with spotty bananas. Just give it a go, people, and leave me a comment down below if you've got any other comments, any other suggestions, if you think I'm talking rubbish. You know, if this provided any inspiration, I would love to know. Happy school days again, people. I hope you survived the holidays okay. Me and my coffee have done thus far. And hit the like button, hit subscribe, and for now, bye.